So I wanted to do a little work on the zinc yellow GT. It had just a little bit of sputter under load. I imagine the ignition coils might be weak, and I don't know how the old ones are. I did have this new set of yellow ones, and I do prefer OEM, just for the record, but I did have these, so I thought I'd put them in. So I got right to work, and on the passenger side, you have to take off the air intake and a couple vacuum lines, and so I did that, and then started taking ignition coils out and swapping them in. It's pretty easy, and I had vacuumed out each of these spark plug holes when I had the engine on the engine stand, but oddly enough, I did find a little tiny piece of plastic in one of them, this little U-shaped clip. I don't know how that got in there, or maybe it fell in at some point, but I don't see how that could have happened, but it was in there. So and maybe when I vacuumed it out, I just didn't get everything. I use a straw sometimes to vacuum them out too, and I thought I did a pretty good job at that, but it might have just fallen in somehow. But anyway, I'm not sure if that was helping cause a misfire or anything. Maybe the boot was touching that, or that was pushing the boot off of the plug a little bit. But anyway, got in there and just changed all the plugs, and everything went pretty well. I did notice that one of the connectors was a little loose, and so you'll see I'll start the car up, and I give it a few revs, and it was making a little bit, it was shaking a little bit, it was kind of misfiring, and then I fixed that connector and did it again, so that's what you'll see here. So I could tell there's a little vibration. One of the cylinders wasn't firing. I could just tell. So I looked over all the plugs, made sure they were all plugged in. And then when I made my way over to the passenger side, I did notice that the second one back, or maybe it was the first one back, the connector was loose. And so I slid it back on all the way and got that on. And then it was much better after that. So then it ran a lot better. And so when I drive, you'll see here I tested by putting it under load, kind of a high gear, and flooring it. And then if there's no sputtering, then it's not missing anymore, and you'll see that here. But this is starting it up, and it's sounding better now. Get it into fourth gear, low RPM, floor it. No judder. What I'm gonna do. See, floored it, no hesitations. Good, that's better. go, much better. Usually if you have a misfire on these cars, it's an ignition coil. Sometimes it's hard to tell when they go bad, and you can put a scan tool on it and stuff, but I don't have the snap-on scan tool like my friend had, where he could actually detect which cylinder it was and everything. But anyway, usually it's the ignition coils, and so that fixed the problem, and maybe it was just because I had a little plastic piece in there keeping that one from completely sealing or whatever. But anyway, runs great, everything good. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more Mustang content.